Guess who got a new toy? Hey you guys, Johnny Banjo here with the Banjophile. Thank you for stopping by. So today I'm happy as a pig in shit because I just got this. The Saga Banjo Kit, OK-2. Today we're just going to do an unboxing of this guy. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am to see that it actually came in a retail box with promotional photography and everything on it. So a little bit of backstory on this. The first nice banjo I ever had was actually a Stuart McDonald kit that I put together when I was a young teenager many years ago. And Stuart McDonald has long since discontinued that banjo kit. But back then, that was a huge deal to me. My first banjo was a crappy bottle cap Sears banjo, which I sold in order to afford the Stuart McDonald kit. And that was a lot of money for me at the time. Probably about as much as this guy costs today back then. And building it, was a big deal to me then. Because it was a lot of money, because I really wanted a decent banjo. So I took it very seriously. I read everything I could, because this was before the internet days, before Google. So I read everything I could in books on how to build and maintain banjos, and had a lot of fun doing it. Took me a while, but I learned a lot. I learned a huge amount by doing that about how to build and maintain and set up banjos. So that was a really great learning experience that stuck with me for the rest of my life. So when I saw this banjo kit being mentioned in some banjo forum somewhere, I don't even remember where anymore, I got really excited. I knew I had to have it, just for the nostalgia value alone. But I think this is a good project for any banjo player to do. Again, because by doing it, you learn to repair, maintain, modify, and set up any other banjo that you might own. I started out by checking out the Saga Music website, is where I saw this being described and knew that it was something I wanted, but you can't order it directly from them. They don't ship directly. You have to order it from one of their authorized retailers. Fortunately, there were several in my area, so thank you and shout out to Jason Carpenter and all the other folks at Downtown Sounds in Northampton, Massachusetts for making this happen for me. Took a couple weeks, but they ordered it for me and it just came in. If there's no dealer in your area, Elderly Instruments is a dealer for Saga Music, so maybe give them a call and see if they'd be willing to order it for you and ship it out to you. I don't know that they will. It's not on their website, but maybe they will. Give them a call. So let's start taking a look at this. Let's crack it open, because I haven't yet. Okay, so let's crack this guy open and take a look at what we got inside. I am wicked excited right now. All right. So, take a look at this. Okay. Seems to be, I don't know, seems to be something missing here. Not sure. So on top here, there's what appears to be a badge of some kind, or actually, I think it's a peghead decal. It says Saga. You probably can't see that too clearly. There's a loose coordinator rod rattling around in here. Let's take a look at the instructions here. And, oh yeah, now I see why. I was wondering why it was called the OK-2, where they got that model number. But there's apparently also an RK2, and I'm going to guess that this means resonator kit or open back kit. So clearly I got the open back kit, and that's probably what's missing here is they used the instructions in the box for either kit, I would imagine, and this is where the resonator would have gone, I think, if I had purchased the RK2, the resonator version of this kit. So we'll take a closer look at the instructions in a minute. I'm going to set them aside, and I'll set aside the cutout here with the peg. I think that's the peg head badge there, and coordinator rod. And looks like here we have the pot, and oh, there's stuff under the pot. All right, let's take it one thing at a time. All right. So inside here, it's tied. It looks to be an aluminum pot, cast aluminum, and ooh, a very nice, excellent, a very nice nickel-plated, notched tension hoop. That is rather firmly, notched tension hoop. Very nice. Shiny, nickel-plated. I much prefer the notched tension hoops over the grooved ones. There is, under here, there is a Remo head, just sort of a stock frosted top Remo head in a retail package, or bagged anyway. And here is the rim. It's interestingly, it's an arch top. I suspected as much when I saw the pictures on the box. They didn't describe it this way anywhere in the description online. Or on the box, but when I saw this photo in particular, it looked like an arch top to me, which, is kind of an odd choice for an open back, but cool, I guess. I've never even tried an arch top, so this will be a new experience. It is a one-piece cast aluminum. Kind of shiny on the outside, not so much on the inside. Bit rough. Some of these holes that are drilled look a bit rough, but very nice. I'm thinking about whether I want to leave this as just sort of the bare aluminum, or whether I want to maybe try spray painting it or something. That's what I did with my Stu Mac kit, actually, my Stuart McDonald kit. I reconditioned that banjo a few years ago, and I spray painted it. It's what I call now my Starry Night banjo, and you could see that banjo. It's the one I play in my This Land Is Your Land video, if you want to check it out. But I actually spray painted its rim, but it was a maple rim. So I don't know about painting this. I imagine if I tried to paint this, it would scratch easily. So maybe I'll just leave it alone. Let's take a look at what's in the hardware bag. So that appears to be everything that was in the box apart from the neck, which I'm going to save for last. So we've got this nice hardware bag, and I'm wondering if I should open it because I will probably start losing the pieces. What the hell, let's open it. All right, so cutting into this, here is a pretty stock standard issue nickel-plated armrest. I don't personally favor this style of armrest, this wide style. I like the very narrow Vega style that Stuart McDonald sells that still. So I think I may hold off on installing that, see if I can install one of my preferred armrests. Now here is the tailpiece, and Don't know if you could see that. It looks to be a Waverly style tailpiece. Nickel plated, very nice. It'll do. I usually like no knots, or I actually really like the Pisgah banjo hawktail tailpiece. They're much smaller than these bluegrass style tailpieces, but nicer than a no knot. They actually secure the strings rather than a no knot, which is a little tricky to string because it doesn't secure the strings at the tail end. Here we have the hooks and nuts. So let me show you this. I don't know how well you can see this. I didn't plan this out very well. Hooks and nuts. So these are just, standard round J hooks, and I much prefer the round J hooks that go into a notched tension hoop over the flat hooks that go into a grooved tension hoop rather. And the nuts appear to be a 1/4 inch variety rather than the 5/16 inch variety, and they are open-ended. So this will screw down until the threaded end actually comes out the other end of the nut, which I try to avoid doing because it'll tend to catch on your clothes. So I'm just going to put that back in the bag so we don't lose any of those. There is here, well, I probably shouldn't cut this because there are tiny screws in there, but I already did. So let's take this out anyway. I have plenty of spare banjo parts of my own that I could always swap in. So here is a truss rod cover and some strings. So they provided strings. I think I'll probably use my own strings. I noticed that these are not labeled in any way, so you'd have to figure out which one is which. Probably not generally too hard to do, except maybe discerning the second string from the first and fifth strings. Very small difference in gauge there. So there's tiny screws for the truss rod cover, which appears to have, yeah, it does. It has protective plastic on it, so it doesn't look very nice. But pulling off the protective plastic, it's very nice and shiny. And I'm just going to tuck that away and put the strings aside. Here is the 5th string tuning machine. It is a geared tuner. And this is, I think this is an attachment point for the tailpiece. So I'm used to an L bracket for attaching tailpieces, where this would be the attachment point for the tailpiece itself, and on an L bracket there would be a piece that comes up on the other side, which would fasten to the nut that fastens to the coordinator rod when the coordinator rod penetrates the rim at the tailpiece end. That's the style that I'm familiar with. This looks like it latches on to 2 brackets. So, fine, that's cool. They provided a bracket wrench. A wrench for the, what I presume to be 1/4 inch nuts. There is a Banjo Bridge. Seems to be pretty standard issue, garden variety, nothing special. Appears to be ebony on maple, 3-footed straight Banjo Bridge. These are the shoes. I'm going to make a small cut and just take out one shoe. I don't want to lose them. So the shoes and screws. Interesting choice of design for shoes. yeah, they appear to be nickel plated. And the screw is already installed into it. So the shoes, of course, attach to the rim and hold the brackets. And I'm just going to tuck that away so I don't lose it. And finally, the tuning machines for the long strings. So they're nickel plated, and they are not branded. I don't see any branding information. It's just white. It's not even pearloid. It's just white plastic peg. And yeah, just sort of run-of-the-mill planetary tuners. Nice plating. It turns smoothly. Not much more I could say about that. All right, tuck that away. So that's all of the hardware. Let's take a look at the neck. This is sort of a coup de grace here. And I can already see right through the foam packing that they have pre-installed the fret markers, the fret marker inlays, which is a huge relief to me because some of the reviews I was reading, and there were a number of old reviews that I found online that talked about this and said that the fret markers needed to be installed, and apparently that was the case with older versions of this kit, and apparently it was not an easy task. They had to be kind of hammered in, and which may be the standard way of doing it, I don't know. But that they weren't exactly precision engineered, so that they didn't go in easily was the complaint that I often heard. So yes, it is steel reinforced. There's a truss rod in there, and it has a very nice traditional peg head shape, pre-drilled. It is rough sanded, but it's not fine sanded, so this feels a little bit splintery, just a teeny bit rough. So this needs to be sanded. The nut appears to be plastic rather than bone, and there is a plastic fifth string nut as well. It has 22 nickel frets, and I don't know what this wood is for the fretboard. I suspect it's rosewood. It's if it is, it's not stained. Often rosewood or alternative wood. So fretboards were traditionally made of ebony, but my understanding is that good ebony is getting harder and harder to come by, and increasingly cost prohibitive. So manufacturers or banjo makers are using alternative woods. Rosewood is certainly the most common. Deering has experimented with using a stained maple that they have some name for, midnight maple, I believe they call it. So I'm not sure what unstained rosewood looks like, and if it looks like that, then that's what that is. The neck itself is mahogany, and I know that because I read the description online. I'm not good at identifying woods. I see that the rim bolts are pre-installed. That's, of course, very nice. Wouldn't want to have to do that. So this should just join to the rim and should fit correctly. So there you have it. There is the entire kit. Okay, so that's it for the unboxing of this Saga banjo kit, OK-2. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at that. I'm going to be building this banjo over the coming days and maybe weeks. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. It's going to have to start with sanding and finishing the neck. So I'll make some update videos about the progress of the build as it progresses. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you'll watch some of my other videos where I talk about my enthusiasm for open back banjos and cry-hammer banjo in general. Take care.